Hey everyone, Jason Sherman here. In today's episode of Zero to CEO, I speak with Neil Ateem. He's the co-founder of Multiplier. Welcome to the show, man.
Thank you, Jason. Thank you for having me.
Cool, man. And today we're going to talk about how to turn your reach into revenue. It's a really good topic. A lot of people out there have a lot of followers on social media, but they don't know how to turn those followers into customers. Very relevant kind of topic. So let's just start off with, in terms of views, likes, and followers, which is like what we call vanity metrics. What should you be focusing on as an entrepreneur instead?
Okay, so the end goal, right? I will always start there. What is the end goal? So why do we want to get all these followers? Why do we want engagement? Why do we want likes? It's usually for conversions, for actually selling, making sales, generating revenue, getting more leads or customers into your business. So what happens, or what I tend to see that is very common out there is a lot of these creators, they fixate, I don't have 1 million followers or 100K followers, or my posts aren't getting a crazy amount of likes or engagements or comments. And they lose sight of the main thing, which is what they're aiming for, which is to get the actual product sales or generate leads, whatever it may be, right? Now, what usually happens is we get lost in these metrics, and then it just becomes a fixation. You want to have the perfect reel and the perfect looking content and everything, but at the end of the day,
and most of those times too, those numbers aren't really that meaningful, because if you're not converting into anything, then people are just liking and sharing and commenting in your stuff. But unless you're turning, like you said, like turning it into something of value, then what's really the point here,
Yes, exactly. And think about it this way, like almost everyone today has, at least they have everything it takes to be a content creator. And every day more people are more creating content. So there is no limit to content out there. And if you're just someone who's producing content for engagement, likes, and follows, then, you're just like everyone else if you're not converting, right?
So everybody has a smartphone these days. Everybody's got an iPhone or an Android phone or a computer, webcam. They can easily shoot content and become a content creator. So what advice do you have for people out there to differentiate themselves from everybody else so they're not like everybody else?
The whole thing comes down to value, right? Like, what is the value you're adding and putting out there? If it's stuff, if you're just creating content for content's sake and you're just regurgitating stuff that's out there for free on Google, you won't stand out. But if you're actually, giving stuff of really good value, and they're like, wow, this is really worth my following, my engagement, and me looking into what this person actually does, then you're onto something, right? Now, a lot of people, creators that I work with, even companies, I tell them this, even though you have stuff that may be paid for or gated behind your paywall, it's okay if you give away tidbits, and, you don't have to give away 100%, but I would say give away 80, 90%, because people would still pay for this information. If you're, let's say, creating content and it takes you 100 days to get through, a volume of content, no one is going to sit and look at your Instagram and look at 100 days of content, right? If you sell a course, let's say an online course, and it's all consolidated, they will pay for that because they have seen the value you keep delivering, and they'll be willing to actually go behind that paywall and get access to this consolidated information, So don't hold back. Don't be vague and stuff. Like, if you have value to deliver, like, deliver it, give it away. Don't give it all away. But like I said, people would pay for this just for it to be consolidated.
So I like the idea of consolidating all your value into a course. I did that a couple of years ago for my course, but getting visibility to that course and getting people to buy the course and getting people to see your course and learn about it. How do you stand out? Like, how do you launch that? Because that's hard too. You might have a following and you might have this course that you spent 6 months creating, but to get people to actually find it and use it is another situation. So how do you do that?
You can go the long route, which is building an audience, building a list and everything. But the reality is ads are available to every one of us today. We just need to create an ad account and start optimizing a funnel And the limit is completely dependent on you, how much you want to spend, how much you want to get back. And the ratio is simple. If you're spending and you're getting back more than how much you spend, you keep scaling that, right? So if you have no audience, or and no email list, nothing to work with from ground zero, I would say you can always go with ads, right? And we have done this for offers and um, clients that we work with, helping them scale on ads, on cold traffic, as they call it, because it's someone who hasn't been exposed to you, your offer, or anything like that. And that, yeah, you just build from there and you optimize. The more you spend, as long as you're getting a return, you can scale indefinitely, right?
Right.
And of course, you need to have a very tight funnel. So your sales funnel is how you
Yeah,
actually do
because
the
you don't
acquisition.
want to lose money,
Exactly.
especially if you're starting out as an entrepreneur and you're new at this. You could easily throw $500 into an ad and not get any sales and wonder what happened. So you really got
Correct.
to be able to iterate that ad spend and change the ad creatives and make sure that your messaging is getting across properly, and that, like you said, you're bringing in more sales than you're spending in ads. If not, then you're doing something wrong. So how do you fine tune that process? What's the exact thing that you do that people can follow?
So, I mean, it's hard to say there's one exact thing to follow, right?
Well, you can give me an
There's
example of someone that you
Yeah,
worked with.
yeah. So I can give you a case study. We do have a creator, I'll say, over 100K followers on Instagram already, and we did a warm launch for him, right? And he wanted to sell like a program for a couple $100, and we convinced him to do high ticket, so 10K and 20K, and we were able to generate like 128 grand in like a week of sales. And we did this twice already within the last couple months. So this is one instance of a warm launch to an existing audience, or an Instagram following in this instance. He had no email list or anything. Right now, what we're doing is building out his funnel and starting to test this on cold. So converting a cold audience. Now we have cases where people didn't have the following and everything, and what we did is we built the funnel. Now, depending on the niche, depending on the product, you can choose different type of funnels, right? What we usually work with is VSL funnels. We work with webinar funnels, and there's the typical lead magnet funnels as well. Now, uh, top level, you need to have good creatives, good ads that would
Right.
compel people to actually click and go to your sales page. Now, your sales page has to do the selling, right? That is your salesperson on automation. And what we have is a sales page that is super optimized because, I've been in marketing for over 10 years. My colleagues as well, they've been in it for a long time. And we have this sales page that we compiled that is like the highest converting thing that we know out there, because it's a sales page that has been tested, iterated over week, month, years, even, right? And we have this formula we use. So one of the main thing is the sales page. Once you lock down the creative, it goes to the sales page, and the sales page needs to make that sale. So this is with direct sales. Of course, like I said, you can have a webinar where you send people to, and the webinar does the selling, but still you need to have a solid sales page behind there, right? So the way you do this is super, super important.
And
And I can give a formula to you.
are videos more impactful than images? Is that what you're seeing?
It's case by case. So if it's
Hmm.
top of the funnel, it depends on the niche. So usually with online courses and personal growth, self-help, health, education, videos tend to perform really well. But if it's like platforms or SaaS and stuff, it's static usually works well. So
Interesting.
it depends. It's case by case. But if you're a personal brand, videos usually works well. If you're a creator, videos usually work well because it's you are the person that they
Right, you're
need to buy
selling
into.
yourself. Right, you're selling yourself.
Exactly.
That makes sense. So, okay,
Exactly.
so we talked a lot about ad spend and getting your funnel, creating your formula, getting people to see your product, but we still haven't talked about how to turn organic followers into paying customers, because that's a lot harder to do.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you might have your followers, but they just like your free content. They don't
Yes.
want to. They don't want to pay you for something that you're giving away for free. I know you said only give away a certain amount, but
So
you're still giving away a lot. So how do you
yeah,
do
yeah,
that?
yeah. So the first thing is you need to have the organic following, right? Now, the other step, how do you actually get them to pay you for something? You need to have a problem that you're solving or some value that you're exchanging for that, and it must be at the level that they're willing. to make that exchange. So if their problem is worth 1,000, 2,000 bucks for them solving, and you sell that product for 300 bucks, then it's a no-brainer as well, right? We can go super deep in this, but just to keep it on the surface level, it's like how you craft your offers. So having bonuses and stuff as well. Now, let's say you have this loyal following, you've never sold before, and you want to sell your first product. I would say the first thing you can start off with is start surveying your following and seeing what they actually want. So if you have a specific niche, let's say you teach a certain skill, like let's say how to play the piano, and people follow you to play the piano to learn. Like every day you post a reel, this is how you do these keys and these keys. But if you have a comprehensive course on how to do piano for beginners, and they're willing to fast track, but it needs to have a USP, right? It can't just be another course. So if you say learn to play piano in 11 days, then 11 days, and you show them, okay, you would learn to play this. I guarantee if you follow this course step by step, you would learn to do this, and you show them the end result or what they can expect in 11 days. Then you're onto something rather than, okay, here's a beginner's piano, and you can do it at any time. And now the bonuses and stuff, as I mentioned, your offer needs to be enticing, right? So if you're starting off, you have a group call or something with them every couple of days, so they get to see you face to face. You get to give them feedback, this kind of stuff.
So like webinars, or where you're hosting.
It can be a Zoom call. You can have a Zoom call, a group call with the group, and then it can be Q&A, like
an AMA, ask me anything. Yeah, those are popular on Reddit too.
Exactly. But it's with you, right? You are the authority. You are the person they come to learn from. So they would be happy to actually see you directly and get that from you if you're just starting off. Of course, it's not scalable if you have 10,000 customers. But in the beginning, you have to do the work. There's no way to skip the work.
Well, it's funny you said that we don't have time and it's not scalable. But actually, the startup that I'm in the middle of, Vengo AI, you build an AI identity that is your personality and your twin, and then your fans and your followers can talk to you. So that's kind of what we're trying to solve that problem. So it's funny you mentioned that. This fits right into this kind of business model. So before we wrap up, let's talk about some of the mistakes that businesses make when they're trying to do this, offering. What are some of the top mistakes you see them making that we can help them avoid?
So I would say having gaps in your funnel and having drop off, because one of the main things is having quality traffic, right? Now, at every stage that you have in a funnel, people drop off, and not looking at this and missing this is where I see a lot of money wasted, a lot of money on the table that, is just burnt. So really having something that is optimized, because you can have the best offer, you can have the best content, the best ad, but if people are dropping off and it's because of little things that actually are big things, it's a huge mistake. So having good content or ad creatives at the top of the funnel important, right? Because you're spending money on ads, you need to get that return. Where you send people, super important. So your sales page, your offer page needs to be incredible to get those conversions. And then of course, product delivery, don't forget this. You can have the best sales funnel, the best marketing, but if your product is trash, then you're not going to have a business in the future.
Well, Jesus, so, let's hope not.
You need to look at things from a holistic point of view, and I mean, a lot of companies, they're very good at the product and stuff, but the marketing is where they fall short, or the creators themselves. They're good at the creation, the product itself, but the marketing is where they fall short, and this is where we come in.
It's really hard. I mean, I keep telling people, for 20 years I've been telling people, as I help them build their products, like, building something is not that hard. I mean, sure, it's difficult, but not that hard compared to selling the product. That's much harder. And people always forget that. They think that they can build whatever they want and everybody will start using it. And then they find out that that's not the case. So I'm glad to hear that you have a really good process for that. So if people want to use your process and learn more about what you do, where can they find out more about that?
Yeah, so they can follow me on LinkedIn or Instagram, and the sales page. I do have a template, and you guys can get this for free. You can go to multiplier.agency/cheat sheet, and I'll give you this to you for free, so you can just follow it step by step and use this in your funnels. But yeah, I'll be happy to chat and connect and help out anyone that needs my help.
You heard the man. Get that cheat sheet, multiplier.agency/cheat sheet. I'm going to definitely download it. And thanks, Neil. Appreciate it. Hope you guys learned something, and we'll see you in the next episode.